Colonial Dames of America. Travel and tour opportunities on the web at greatamericantreasures.org. A Moment in Time with Dan Roberts is produced at the University of Richmond with the cooperation of WCVE Public Radio. Our theme music is composed by BJ Liederman. Our sound engineer is Robert Richards. Transcripts, podcasts, audio, and video are available at amomentintime.com.
Wednesday morning here on KSJE. It's time to take our weekly trip to the Encouragement Lab, and there he is, Dr. Mike Cadabaugh, standing by in the lab this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Scott. How you doing?
I am okay, thank you. And you this week?
I'm looking bright.
Okay. Yes, you are. True. That's good. Because this week we're talking about the dreaded term, the new normal, huh?
Yeah, it's funny we don't like that term, right? But I want to talk about it because it's really, so right now is the time to start thinking about the new normal.
Okay. All right. If you say so. Go ahead.
If I say so, yeah. So here's the deal, is all of a sudden I've been talking to people and, all year since, like we just were talking about before we started here, is 16 years ago back in March.
Right.
Everyone kept saying, I just can't wait to get back to the old us, right? The old whatever.
Yeah.
The normal. Whatever the normal was back
February.
16 years ago in February.
Yeah.
And now I can just, everywhere you look now, there are signs that people are getting back to normal activity, whatever that looks like, right?
Right, sure.
But I just want to talk about the fact that if you don't make the adjustment right now to what we're going to call the new normal, you're going to feel lost. My daughter spent 2 years overseas recently, and we were just talking about this last week. And she talked about how when she arrived back at the airport in the United States, she wanted to cry. And she said she went to a restaurant and there were 87 choices for stuff. And she just looked at it and went, I can't choose.
Right.
So she had a long layover before she got on her next flight. And she went and found a group of people that were talking the language where she had been for 2 years.
Oh, well, that could be helpful, right?
That was normal to her, right?
That's right. That was her normal. That's right.
And so that's my point here, is that as we're headed into this new season of where people are getting back to somewhat normal activities, and yet this virus isn't completely gone, and we're still arguing about what we're supposed to do about it. I just want you to realize that what you've got to internalize is what is going to be my new normal, and what is for you is going to be different for everybody else. And then there's two traps in that.
Okay.
Whatever that new normal is.
Right.
The first trap is what's obvious, and that is if you spend all your time grieving about your old normal, well, I can't do this again, can't do that again.
Right.
That will eat up all your emotional energy. So here's an example. I saw this week is a friend of mine said, my daughter just realized there will never be another snow day.
Oh, right.
Because
if you're home.
Zoom, right?
Yes, right.
Now instead of snow day, schools are going to go, hey, we're just going to meet online today.
Interesting.
You
Yeah.
haven't thought about that, have you?
No. Dang it.
So snow days are over. Right?
Maybe, yeah.
That's a new normal. Now, I'm sure there's some schools that will still do snow days, but by and large, schools now will go, hey, let's all just jump online for the snow day, and we won't have to make it up.
Right.
And you'll stay home, but it won't be, the old normal. So that's just one small example of what new normal is that we've all made new adjustments in our lives. Many companies and schools have gone, hey, I guess we can do life this way, and that will be part of your new normal.
Right.
I guess we can, for me, I guess I can go throughout my day without touching my face. That's a new normal for me.
Right. Well,
I used to
for
touch
a lot
my
of people.
face a lot. Now I don't.
Right. Well, true. And I think, if I could say, as we kind of go back into here in New Mexico, we've just got back into inside dining at restaurants to a certain degree, right? And that's a little bit more normal. Museums have reopened to a certain degree if they have certain types of kind of static exhibits. And so it's getting back to normal, but yet, of course, we're still wearing masks and we're still social distancing when we go. And so there's still that kind of, it's normal, but it's not quite back to normal. You know what I mean?
Well, so guess what? The rest of our lives, we're going to get on airplanes and people are going to be wearing masks.
Right.
That's new normal.
Yeah.
Used to get on an airplane, it was unusual to find somebody wearing a mask.
Right.
Now, it's going to be normal. Matter of fact, most of us will pack a mask just in case somebody around us is coughing and hacking.
That's right.
Because we're used to it now. So, I mean, it's just, so again, these things aren't all bad. Some of these benefits are going to be huge.
Right.
You know, so the thing is if you get too hung up on what you've lost, you're going to miss out on what's new. And again, I'm not here to say that what you've lost, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we do need to grieve what we've lost, but the way forward is to realize that it's just a shift in how we do things, and that not all of it's bad. It's okay. You know, for instance, I hate wearing a mask into a store, but I wear one every time.
Sure.
But I'm sick of it. I'm just sick of it, right?
Right.
But that's something going forward. I'm going to have to go, okay, it's probably going to be in my reality for quite a while, is that going into most stores, I'll put on a mask.
Right. Well, and that's true. And you're right. There has been, I think people have been noting some positive things to come out of this. A lot of folks have rediscovered family and their house and spending time with people that they care about, and all those things I think can be positive parts of our new normal too, right?
Very much so. Very much so.
Doesn't have to be negative.
Yeah, and that's the challenge, though, is for people, if you start, so you're going to get left behind. This is really why I'm saying this, is if you're not starting to think, this is my new normal, you're going to get left behind if you're still waiting on your old normal. That's
Right.
just the reality. Is what I don't want you is to be left behind. And that's what people, I see that, you know, in my clients. They're getting left behind because they can't make the adjustment to whatever the new normal is in their relationships, in their life. And that's what you've got to do to be successful. I wish it was another way. It's not, but that's just what I want people to hear today, is that if you're not thinking, okay, it's time for me to find my new normal for me, that's what's going to make the biggest difference in your life.
I think that's great advice, Dr. Hadabaugh, as always. And I think, isn't it kind of true if we think about it, even without a global pandemic, that our lives are constantly moving forward and our normals are constantly shifting, even maybe we don't quite notice it all the time, into something newer than what we had a year or so ago?
Exactly. It's just they tend to change more slowly and
Right.
one thing at a time. What this
Right.
did is it fruit basket turnover, right?
Right,
Let's
yes.
throw everything up in the air, and now we have to figure out everything was new.
That's right. Yeah.
And that's what made it shocking, is we had to change everything. Where normally it is, we're constantly adjusting, you know, little things here. But this way, we've had to do a bunch of changes at once.
At once. Yep. I like the advice. It's always good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Very good. Dr. Mike Hadabaugh, he is with us every Wednesday. That's our new normal right here on KSJE Farmington.